251. Remember to download both the Barn Burner app and the Zingo TV app in the respective app store on iOS and Android. And Zingo TV is also available on Roku Sticks, Amazon Fire TV Sticks, Google Chromecast, and all smart TVs 2016 forward. Reunited and feel so good, even though I don't feel good. It's Demetra Margos. Demetra, how you been?
I've been good. It's nice. It's so wonderful to be back on the show with you guys. I've missed doing these weekly episodes. You know that I love talking politics, which I'm sure we're going to do a lot of today, and entertainment. So it's back to be back with my passion.
All right. Before Samantha is just running a little bit late, so we're going to be joined by Samantha in a few minutes. But before we get, it's a big, political day, and hopefully America does the right thing, okay, and doesn't vote for an orange guy. But before Sam comes in, let's get to some news that I was told today, and this is big news, okay? Andy Dalton of the Dallas Cowboys, he's injured, but he has landed on the COVID-19 list. So he has COVID, all right? Now, the Philadelphia 76ers are expected to pursue, get this, Demetra, James Harden, and the Denver Broncos GM, John Elway, also has COVID. He also has COVID, but some sad news. And Demetra, I know you played volleyball, but you will know this guy. Diego Maradona, Argentinian great. He's set to go emergency brain surgery tonight. So let's give him, hopefully everything goes good. Anything with the brain or heart or anything, he's a legend. The goal, the hand goal there and everything, he's a legendary player and a great person. I'm just looking up because today I was greeted in an inopportune place by member of a media. He was also doing some quote unquote business. He has told me the NBA and NBA Players Association are heading to between two 2020-21 season scenarios. December 22nd, start 72 games. The finals, the season close out mid-May, and the finals will finalized by July 22nd with the Christmas revenue. Remember, Christmas Day games are huge in the NBA, or a January 18th start with 60 games. The regular season finish in June with the finals finishing August 21st. Okay, so that's big news there. While we wait for Sam here, I'm going to do something special here. I want to give a special shout out. 25 years ago today, I don't know, Demetra, were you even alive 25 years ago today?
I was not alive 25 years ago today.
All right, now you could see my background. It was the first, let me see here. That's our good friend, Tracy Murray. There you go. Tracy Murray. That was the first ever Toronto Raptors game. They played the New Jersey Nets at Skydome, now Rogers Center. 33,000 fans, and the Raptors won 94-79, right? 94-79. That's a picture that Tracy Murray sent me, a good friend of ours, Tracy Murray. So 25 years ago today, and who would have thought 23 years, 2 years later, me and Tracy met, and we've been very good friends ever since. So kudos to the Raptors starting 25 years ago today. But okay, so today also is a very gigantic day, and I'm look who I'm putting in the background. All right. So it's okay, let's cover the orange person. Okay. Anyways, it's a very big day in the United States of America, but in the world. Okay. Presidential election day. Okay. Demetra, I know you're a volleyball player, but you have strong opinions regarding politics. Okay. So let's first start off with, I'm not going to say his name, but the orange person. Okay. The orange person says, it's not fair. Every vote should be counted today. Shouldn't wait 2-3 days. It's going to be a disqualification, or they're trying to screw the election or whatever. This is coming from a person who got elected because his best friend in Russian, Putin, helped him out. So if anybody was going to screw an election, he would know what it is. Okay, that's number one. Number two is Dimitra. Let me ask you point blank. It's decision day in the United States. Do they do the right thing? I'm not telling you who to vote for, but okay, yes, I am. Okay, yes, I am. Nobody in their right mind. I said right mind. Okay, because there's about 25 million people in the wrong mind. Okay, um, nobody in the right mind is going to vote for an orange. So why give him a second term? Dimitra, go ahead.
You know, and a lot of people are like satisfied with the job that he's been doing. As I mentioned in some previous episode, a lot of like white people in the middle of the country feel like they were forgotten about for the previous 8 years before this administration. And they needed a change. As Trump said, he wanted to drain the swamp, and drain it he did. He had like four different press secretaries, like four different chiefs of staff, sorry, six different press secretaries, six different chiefs of staffs. He had 21 out of the 23 people in his cabinet are millionaires. um, so I mean, he replaced everybody with essentially anybody that didn't have any political experience, that were all outsiders. And I think that points the direction that we're and where we are today, where experience trumps popularity. Like, we are not the globally, we are not in a good state right now, not even with this pandemic, but just in general, the rhetoric that has come out of the white, not even the United States, but the White House specifically. So I'm really hoping that people, I think Joe Biden's new slogan is that he is fighting for the soul of the country.
America. Yeah.
And I totally think that he's doing that. And I mean, do I think that in the 4 years that Joe Biden is there, that he's going to make an astronomical difference and fix everything that Trump's done wrong? No, but I do think that he's going to bring the country back to a place where families can have dinner again together, where neighbors can talk. I do think that he's going to lessen the divide that Trump has just constantly been chipping away at and creating a greater one. So,
I picked this picture. Look at it. When you look at this picture, okay? Honestly, Donald Trump. Just let's start off with him. What do you when you if you don't know he's what he does and all that, when you look at that picture, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Honestly, look at it. Look at
I
good.
don't think I can say the first thing that comes to my mind on air, but I just think I
Doesn't it look like a crook? Like a fake liar? Look at the smile on him. It's like, oh, I got them over for 4 years. That's look at that. Look at this.
Yeah, I mean, well, he certainly fooled a lot of people. I think if you look back, 4 years in 2015, January of 2015, people were laughing at him. Even now, members of like Kayleigh McEnany, who was a conservative pundit on Fox, was like, this guy's a joke. And now she's his press secretary. So he certainly fooled a lot of people. But I think what the key to his success was in the 2016 election is that, well, I mean, he didn't tell the truth, but he kept it very, very simple, and he told everybody what they wanted to hear. I think that's one thing that Joe Biden has kind of taken under his belt, is keeping everything very simple and giving limited answers.
And ironically, okay, Trump's slogan 4 years ago was what?
Make
Make
America great.
America great again. Okay. Now, if you turn it around, Joe Biden's slogan should be "Make America Great Again," because Donald Trump came in there. I don't know how to say it, but forget about COVID. The country is upside down. There's never been, and I wish hopefully Samantha Walters will be in here soon, but Black Lives Matter. There's never been so much Black Lives Matter. Anybody, not only black, anybody, like border of Mexico. I'm going to make a new border. I'm going to do this. I'm fighting with our prime minister, Trudeau, and like, what is going on with this guy? And yet, he has brainwashed maybe 50% of the United States.
Um, you know, I hear what you're saying. I mean, I was listening to one of his town halls with George Stephanopoulos. who was the press secretary for Clinton, like very
Okay.
smart, was a professor at Columbia, political science professor, like a brilliant mind. And they were doing a town hall, and they took in questions. And an African American man said, you know, your slogan is "Make America Great" or "Keep America Great," but America has never been great for Black folk. Like it, so you're wanting to put us back into a time where minorities are oppressed and we have limited rights. And I'm not even talking about, you know, I'm obviously focusing on the African American community, but in terms of women, like our reproductive rights, and with Amy Coney Barrett on the Supreme Court now, those are at risk. You know, last week there were 500 children or 250 children at the border whose parents were missing and are now orphaned because the government didn't do a good job of tracking their families. Dreamers were at risk at one point, and they still are. You know, there was no point in their history as a country that the country was great for all American citizens.
And
So the
you know what?
except white people.
I echo those sentiments. And here we're we're both Canadian, okay? But everything that happens in America has a trickle down effect in Canada, maybe a month later. You know that, okay? Maybe a month later it has a trickle down effect. Okay, so I'm gonna ask you the question here. Okay, let's say he gets reelected. Just let's say he gets. What effect does that have on Canada?
I think that we're not going to see our borders open up in terms of people going down to the States for a very long time. If you have any family in the States, I don't think they're going to be coming up here anytime soon. I think that we should be stressed about their COVID restrictions because Trump is the, master of the economy. Hello, Miss.
Hi. I'm here.
I know
Joe
this is why
booked the
she's
ticket. I am here at the White House as you requested, Joe. Oh my goodness.
yes. And now you're there at the White House. How's the weather, first of all, in Washington?
It's great, Joe. It's great. A little brisk, but we're doing well. Oh
right,
my.
and you got your accreditation there for when Donald loses and everything like that. You got the accreditation because
100%.
I may want you to cut in during programming, especially the Eduardo Harari show.
Of course. Absolutely. Yeah. What did I miss so far? I feel like I just interrupted Dimitra. Please continue. I am here.
Hold on.
Goodness.
First of all, before do some pleasantries. We didn't see Dimitra in like 2.5 weeks here on Lavish.
I know. I feel like because I spoke to her on the phone, like I got all my excitement out. But thank you so much for coming on Lavish today, Dimitra. I know this was last minute, but we really needed your political stance and your political opinions here today on Lavish. And guys, do not forget to tune into her show, which is now on Monday, I believe.
Mondays at
perfect. 7. Do not forget to tune into the Spike there at 7:30.
Dimitra's here because she missed me. I even wore a tie for this.
I know. I was gonna say you really dress up for me. Usually, I'm the only one in like a blazer.
This is a presidential debate. This affects the world for the next 4, maybe 8 years. Okay, so I asked Sam, or I asked Dimitra this. I'm gonna ask you, Sam. Okay, in the perfect world, okay, you're American now. You're in Washington. You're in America. Why are you laughing? And you're in America. All right. So, who do you vote for, and why?
I vote for Joe Biden. Because I feel like he's putting a lot of issues first that are, especially with COVID, Black Lives Matter, and I feel like Donald Trump hasn't been able to quite address that properly. But he definitely has my vote. And you know what? In the beginning, I was kind of iffy on both, if I'm being very honest. But after seeing him, choose Kamala Harris, to kind of be right underneath and into, changing up the perception, changing up the views, and helping to kind of negotiate problems and stuff like that too. It definitely does say something about his character and what he's willing to do for the future. So I know a lot of people have been talking about his past and saying he hasn't done it in the past. What makes you think he's going to change now? But having Kamala Harris on his team definitely does make a statement about where he's looking ahead, So definitely the future that I want to see is with Joe Biden. I'm really scared if it's something with Donald Trump. I know you've been bashing him and calling him Mr. Orange, but
look at his face. Look at his face here. Tell me that's not orange. Okay, tell me that's not orange. Now,
Is it a tan? Is it a tan?
no, no,
I'm
no,
not
Tan,
sure.
he orange. Now, Demetra, I'm going to ask you this. You talked about Kamala Harris, okay? What do you think? Because obviously she's a lady. She's, vice president. If
Person
you
of
will.
color as well, yeah.
Yeah, a person of color, and let's hope she has a little bit of power from Biden there. What do you think she can? Because usually the president wins the election, and then it trickles down to vice president 4 or 8 years later. Okay, so could she be, let's say, 4 or 8 years? Could she be the next president, first lady president of the United States of America?
I certainly think she is qualified enough to do so. She has a lot of experience. She was the first female and person of color to be the district attorney of California. I think her record as a senator, I mean, I don't think there's a lot of it that is a little bit shady. But I think that, she is pro-choice. I think the way that she looks at issues is something that I'm very in line with, in terms of women's rights and, her view. She is a person of color, so she has firsthand experience on what it's like to be a part of that community. And I think that she could shed a lot of light on that and create opportunities that haven't been in place before. And I think, Barack Obama did a really phenomenal job of that. But I think that the only types of people that can truly make a difference and, incite and enact policy are people who have been in that situation. So are people of color. And that's, I think,
Mhm.
why we need more people of color and more just minorities in general in positions of power, so that their community isn't forgotten about.
Okay.
Preach, Demetra. Oh my goodness. I'm listening and I'm like, amen. That is honestly facts. Like, honestly, as you were speaking, I feel like this does bring different insight into the issues. I feel like most of the time it's solved by, the rich white man who thinks, well, you know what? If they're having this problem, let's do this to solve it. But, sometimes when you don't have the experience or you haven't been through or know the challenges or understand them, the solution never really aligns with the problem, right? It just makes a bigger problem onto this. So definitely, no.
Like, I'm tired of having white men make decisions about my body. Like, you
Mhm.
guys have no idea what I go through on a daily basis. And also, I think that we've had enough of white people making decisions. Like, as a white person, I am saying that, like, we've kind of run our course. Like, we've exhausted all of our options and it hasn't really worked out. So I
Mhm.
think that it is in need of change. I pray Kamala and Joe win this next election, just in terms of just having the ability to, as I said earlier, like, bring the country back together and start unifying people. But I just think it's time. I don't even, like, for me, like, I would love to have a woman of color in a position of power,
Mhm.
because
Well,
it's due for change.
let me ask.
Speaking of that, like there was one, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Joe. I believe New Zealand has even gotten a new, I think an indigenous member to become what was it? It's not the sorry?
Representative.
A representative there, exactly. And I feel like that is just such a big, step forward too for, New Zealand. Yay them. But, definitely for the future wise, I definitely see, I feel like if Joe Biden wins this election, which he will, I definitely see this going forward, with more minorities stepping up and feeling like, because just like I feel like it's just like media, before when I was younger and I didn't see a lot of people of color or black people on television and stuff, I'm like, oh well, I guess, or we're always painted as the villain, I'm like, oh, I guess I can never be the good person or I can never be like the superhero or whatever, because it's always like that. And I think with like this, as a reflection of reality, where it comes into play, where there's usually just white people running, white people making decisions and stuff like that, seeing more minorities or more, especially women too, even that gender difference there, seeing them make the decisions and stuff like that definitely does encourage a lot of other people and like, gives them a chance to kind of, feel like they can get into that.
That even more, you just said exactly what I was thinking. Like, by having more women of color in positions of power inherently empowers other younger women of color. Like, I see myself reflected on TV as a white cis woman. I know
Mm-hmm.
that is a luxury that I have, and I can't imagine, especially in the career path that you and I both want to, that we
Mm-hmm.
are doing, I can't imagine not having any role models that looked like me and that I would want to, you know, model my career after. You know,
Mhm.
talking about politics, these are people's lives that are at risk.
Right. And do you see your gender reflected too? I know you're talking about, you know, like your color and everything like that, but what about your gender? Like, do you see a lot of women kind of represented in positions of power? Like, I know that's been.
I would say, like, now in the United States, they've had a record number of women, both on the Republican side and on the Democrat side,
Mhm.
running, because they've just been so inspired by the last 4 years that obviously there needs to be a change and there needs to be a shift in thinking. And I also just think, just as a side note, like, if you have if you have, like, say, all, not even just all white men, all men making decisions, that's a very linear way of thinking, and you're not going to be able to solve problems as creatively or be able to think outside the box when you're only looking at one perspective.
Mhm.
So why would you not want to have women or people of color, women and women of color in the room to enable you to, like, think creatively and better be able to solve and have the ability to better solve problems in the future?
Mhm.
I don't know if that answers.
Yes.
Like, I
Yeah,
just
I know.
for a second, but
No, we're definitely listening. Joe, do you have any feedback onto that too? Like, or anything to add?
I want to ask Demetra, who Barn Burner TV network, and who's the CEO of the Her network,
Tanya Mullins.
and Tanya Mullins is a lady, correct?
Yes.
And she's colored, right?
Yes, she's a person of color. Yes.
And yes, sorry, and she makes the decisions, and we consult her, but she makes the final decisions, correct?
Yes.
All right, doesn't that answer your question? I'm white, and I'm in charge of one network or whatever, but if we're going to have a ladies network, an all ladies network, who should be in charge of that? Don't it isn't the whole thing, what's the saying, Sam, of the Her network, for the
Hardworking,
no,
empowering, resilient. Oh.
no, but also, for produced by ladies for the ladies. So
Mhm.
that's exactly
Produced, directed, and hosted by ladies, women for women.
that is, and I always say this when I brought you guys on and all that. I'm a man, you're a lady. What's the difference? You have to have a mic, you have to have a say. I'm gonna give you the say. You say what you believe. You have the passion, determination, and the heart. It doesn't matter. We can disagree, we can agree, but that's
Mhm.
what life is. Now, with the only problem I have, even with Trump or with Biden, okay, our prime minister is what, 36, 38 years old,
Mhm.
right?
I think he's
These
in.
guys, 70, what is it, 71 and 74? Like, if he goes two terms, he's 80 years old. When is it about time that, what's wrong in the United States that you don't have a 30-year-old, even a lady, a man with progressive thinking, not the old way of thinking? Okay, like, okay, everything we know about Trump, okay, now can you honestly tell me this guy Joe Biden, the only, I don't know him personally or whatever, but I like his first name, all right, so like by the first name he wins, okay, but can you honestly tell me that he's going to change around the mess that Trump made in 4 years? Or does he need 8 years to correct the mess and then see what he has done in 8 years? Because it's going to take 4 to 6 years to correct the mess that Orange did.
Mhm. You know, I think that's definitely interesting you bring that up because just like how you were comparing the Her network to this whole situation as well, you know, it's one thing to say something, but it's another thing to prove it with your actions. And just like here, you know, in the beginning, when I first started, and I think Dimitra too, we didn't have the Her network. It didn't start until a couple of weeks ago or whatever. So, to definitely, you know, to definitely say something is another thing, but to give people the platform and opportunity is one thing. So as I'm comparing this to what's going on in the States as well, I know Joe Biden has said a lot of things and stuff like that. And that's, as I was saying before, I thought that, you know, words are just they don't mean nothing until like we see action, until we see further stuff. And once Kamala Harris was kind of forming on his team and he selected her, that's when I started to see, okay, you know what, this is out of his comfort zone, right? To have, because then, they work hand in hand, the vice president and the president. And, for her to be by his side and to be learning off of him and to be getting advice and stuff like that, I definitely think that this is an opportunity for, for him to grow as well and to kind of, I think it's definitely out of his comfort zone too. So that's him taking action in a way that does kind of represent the people and what they want and what they're asking for. And, if it's almost like if he cannot solve the challenges himself, he's bringing other people on board to do that. And with Donald Trump, I don't think I've seen many, of that. So, I don't know if that really answers your question, but I'm definitely trying to explain it. Dimitra, do you have something to reply to that? Or
then I have a question for Dimitra. I'll start both of you guys because this is a very, very important question. Okay. Dimitra, you're now the president of the United States. Okay. What's the first thing you do?
What's the first thing I do?
Good question. See, come on. All right.
Let's say, because I see so many cracks in the system, and I feel like the first thing, I think honestly, just because of the climate that I see, just because of the current climate and because of how they're handling COVID-19, I would put in a nationwide mask mandate.
Okay. Sam, the same question to you.
Well, I've never really been asked this question because, guys know I'm not in no political positions ever. So.
Well, I just gave you the presidency.
I know. I'm listening. Obviously, I think that positions of power are to protect and to serve. So I think that with the amount of people who have been unsafe, the amount of people that have been arrested from the Black Lives, just for protesting and, just for the wrong reasons, I would say that I would definitely consult all the issues that I've been ignoring. Well, that Donald Trump has been ignoring. And I would try to deal with those. I would try to get on that as soon as possible because, lives are still in danger just because of the color of their skin and stuff like that. So I don't really have a specific way of saying how I'm going to get into the issues, but I definitely think I would put those first, as well as COVID. And then the climate change thing after, as well, as you were saying. I know we still have a couple years left, right? Isn't that time thing still on the building? I know we talked about it once on Lavish.
Yeah.
Pardon?
You have 10 years to turn it around.
10 years, right? So definitely that, but before any more lives get taken because of the color of their skin, I think that would be more important too. And definitely with safety precautions. I know he's been telling everyone, it's safe to not wear a mask and stuff like that, but not everyone has the treatment that he got when he got COVID-19. So definitely COVID and Black Lives Matter issues that I would probably get into first.
Okay.
What about you, Joe?
I'm the president of the United States?
Yeah, you're giving it right now.
Number one, I make a rule. Everybody's treated equal. Doesn't matter if you're black, white, Chinese, whatever, and it doesn't matter if you're a lady, man, or whatever. If you did something wrong, you should be punished. If you did not do something wrong, if somebody, Breonna Taylor, okay, if somebody killed you, don't take 6 months and come with a resolution. Oh, here's $15 million or whatever. No, because money does not buy the person back. Find out what happened and get to the point of what happened. If this guy, Orange, okay, I'm going to say it. He's more busy tweeting than fundamentally there's a problem. There's a problem he knew. And I'm going to say this, okay? There's how many people in the States died of COVID, Dimitra? 300,000, something like that?
I think 250,000.
Okay, 250,000, okay? He knew about this a month before it hit. And it shows, we knew now that he was worried, but didn't do nothing. He himself had COVID. What did he do? The same a day or two later, he took I don't even want to say because I
thought that there would be some excuse for that. And I remember watching my television and they kept repeating the one thing he said at the rally. And he's like, I said to my people, slow the testing down, please. And I was like, slow the testing down. But he was saying like because of the numbers and stuff like that, you know, it's just making it seem like the States has the most cases, it's the worst. But, you know, even with like, you know, the doctors and stuff like that, it's almost like he's just been ignoring them. And there, I don't know, I mean, I've been seeing a lot of articles saying that, you know, possibly after the election, that I talked about this yesterday, he wanted to, there might be a possibility he might fire Dr. Fauci about this too. And, you know, these are the doctors that are just trying to warn him. This is not a battle. This is not, we're not against each other. We should be working together to solve this. What, you know, and I feel like that's what a lot of people are scared of too. A lot of jobs are at stake if he does win, because there's a lot of things. He wants to build a wall right outside the White House. He wants to fire a lot of people. And, you know, if he loses, I'm seeing a whole bunch of articles saying people are ready to sue, start the court cases open, and what's going to happen next. So I feel like there's just so many
Let me ask
possibilities.
Dimitra, doesn't Mr. Orange, okay, Mr. Orange, claim that we are already going to get a vaccine? He said it's going to be before the election. It's going to. So my question, you're the president, Miss President, okay? You're the president. Where's the vaccine? Did the other president, is he a lawyer, Miss President? The other president said there's going to be a vaccine by November 3rd. Now, the other president, Mr. Orange, had COVID. Or did he have COVID? Because aren't you supposed to be quarantined for 2 weeks instead of going to in a limousine to 7-Eleven while you have, oh, take me and hi, let's get more votes or whatever. I have COVID. Let's spread it. No mask, no nothing. Like what is going on here? Everybody, it doesn't matter if it's Canada, America, Belgium, France, Spain, Germany, Ireland. I could go on and on. Everybody says social distance, wear your mask, wash your hands, everything like that. Has he even listened to one doctor? Forget about his own doctor. Okay, maybe your doctor's wrong. Okay, get a second opinion. Second opinion. No, you got to wash your hands. Keep third opinion, 400th opinion. But 400 doctors around the world are wrong. This is the same guy who has it. And miraculously, 2 weeks ago he had it. He still should have been quarantined. Okay?
Mhm.
Like we talked about this yesterday, Sam, when you talked about Turner with the LA Dodgers winning the World Series. He got told in the 7th inning. They
Mhm.
told him to get out. He came back and he took a picture with his manager who had cancer. And still, people want the answer. So, what is going on with this president? And I'm going to say something here. I don't care no more. I don't care no more. I had a bad day. I don't care no more.
Careful what you say, Joe. I don't want him
Yeah.
to walk out this White House.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna walk out. It should be whatever. Listen, America, because we're worldwide here in this Barn Burner TV network, Zingo TV channel 250, the Her network, Zingo TV channel 251. We're worldwide here, America. We are depending on you to make the right choice tonight. The world is depending on you to make the right choice tonight. Because, like I said, before Sam came, Dimitra and I were talking about this has trickled down effect to Canada, to England, to wherever, to whatever country. Everybody looks as America. Yes, they're the most powerful and they have everything, but they have to make the right choice. It doesn't matter if Orange is friends with Putin or whoever. You got to make the right choice. Not for me, not for Dimitra, for my daughter, who's 13 years old, who has to live with the ramifications of trickle down for the next 5, 4, 8, 10, 12, 50 years. Okay? Make the right choice. Like Dimitra, Sam, our youngsters. I'm not saying I'm an old fart, even though whatever, but our youngsters, they got to look, you guys, everybody in the United States, look at the faces that you're looking at right now. The youngsters are the future of our Canada, of America, of Europe, and everything. Dimitra, anything you want to add?
No, I think you covered it all. Like I just think that I can't stress enough how important it is just to voice your opinion in this next election. The ballot, as I've said like so many times on this show, the ballot box is the only place where all our voices. It doesn't matter your race, creed, orientation, nothing matters. your tick or X in the ballot on the ballot is the only thing that matters in this next election. So just make sure that your voice is heard and vote with your heart. Vote with your conscience. What do you like? As Joe Biden said, like, we're fighting for the soul of this country. Which candidate do you think would best unify us or them?
Okay, so here, okay, I'm gonna say this the truth. Dimitri, I'll start off with you. Would you believe in a guy named Ronald McDonald or a guy named Joe? Enough said. You don't have to answer that. Donald or Joe? Sam, same question to you. You don't have to answer if you don't want to. A guy named Donald or Joe? It's an easy answer. It's an easy and Demetra says, vote with your heart and all that. But like I said, vote for the future of Canada, future of America, future of Europe, future of everything, your kids, your grandkids, everything. Because, like, look, Sam, Black, and all that, and I'm going to say this, obviously, I'm not Black, but I think me and Dimitra are in the same boat here, okay? We're in the same boat. We feel bad for this, what has going on for not 2 weeks, 2 months, or whatever, for 60 years. And it has come more to light than ever before in the last, what would you say, in the last 3 months, 4 months, it has come to light for even, and like Sam has always said, and I'm not putting Sam on the spot again, but when you go into a dollar store, you got to watch out because, I'm not saying for you to say it, but you got to watch your back because you're in a dollar store. Come on, she's a person. Demetra is a person. I'm a person. Everybody you walk. First of all, you got to wear a mask. You can't. You got to keep social distance. You got to do. There's so many new rules now, and then to be wearing a mask and all that, it doesn't matter if it's uncomfortable or whatever. You have to do it. There's no other question. You have to do it. And then walking into a store, be it a dollar store, be it a convenience store, be it whatever, and then you have to look back because of the color of your skin. Tell me, in what world do we live in? What world do we live in here?
We live in a world where the darker the color of your skin is seen as a threat. And, I know Donald Trump has made statements saying that he's the least racist person, but as I told you before, words are just words, but your actions do speak louder, right? So, if you're not taking steps towards things like that end racism, how are you the less racist person in this room?
So I just want to say this. Sam. So I'm going to say it. Okay. What you said, words you said, say it again.
Words are just words, but your actions speak louder than words. So
Okay.
I don't know if that's confusing, but
when I asked Dimitra, where's the vaccine? Because he said there's a vaccine. It's not his fault. It's not here. He was told it's the doctors telling me we're very close to getting a vaccine and all that. Now this today or yesterday, oh well, these votes should count today. They should not be delayed or what. It hasn't changed in 100 years. Some states 2 or 3 days, but according to Donald Trump, everything has to happen at 9 p.m. Why? Because at 10 p.m. he has to watch The Apprentice. Okay, so that's it. Tell everybody you're fired. That's his claim to fame. Name. I'm going to ask you this, Dimitri. I'll start with you. Name three things, positive things in 4 years that Orange has done. All right, great answer, Dimitra. Yeah, correct there. Okay, Sam, same question to you. Great answer.
I'm trying to at least think of one. I don't want to be.
I just said three. Okay, I'll give you. We got 25 minutes. Come to me.
Okay, I know. My friends have talked to me about this, like my friends who are in politics, and they told me that he is smart as a businessman. I can't remember exactly what he reduced, but I think their economy, something with. Dimitri, can you help me out here? Isn't there something with the economy that he's helped out with in America?
The stock market for a very brief period of time was on an upward tick.
Okay.
But that was very brief. But that also Well, like
Emphasis on brief.
Hold on here. Hold on. That brings me, because I had this discussion a year ago with a guy I just mentioned, Tracy Murray. Okay, he blames the Raptors winning the NBA championship last year because the stock fell down. He blamed Toronto, the Raptors, for the stock in the United States.
As Dimitra said, there's an emphasis on brief, a very, very brief moment that,
I don't care,
you know,
brief,
it wasn't positive.
brief or whatever. He could wear whatever, fruit of the looms. I don't care, briefs or fruit of the looms or whatever. How can you blame a team in the National Basketball Association? Like, oh my God, Kawhi Leonard, he played for the Raptors. So because he played for the Raptors, this is why he went to the Clippers, to get the economy back. Okay. Instead,
I swear he has something against basketball. I swear there was like a rally in Pennsylvania where the crowd was, I think he was saying something about LeBron James, and the crowd was like, LeBron James sucks. And he's like, what a great crowd. What a great crowd. Like, and I was like,
he hates LeBron James. Why? And honestly, I don't know. Dimitra, do you know why?
I'm assuming he's a Biden supporter.
No. Sam, do you know
what is it for? I was going to ask you. That's why I was asking, like, what is this about?
Because he speaks up because of Black Lives Matter. That's why he hates him. That's why LeBron James not the best. Never been the best. Larry Bird, according to him, was the best. Why? Okay, let's look at, if you're going to say this, Michael Jordan. What is Michael Jordan was the best. Okay? Michael Jordan is colored. Magic Johnson, okay? Probably second, third, fourth best. Kobe Bryant, okay? Like, I could go on. Shaquille O'Neal. Why does he say Larry Bird? Larry Bird, out of all those five guys that I mentioned, is white. Enough said. Michael, if I had Donald Trump here and asked him who's the greatest basketball player of all time, should be, anybody would say it, be it white, be it whoever, Michael Jordan. And if it's not Michael Jordan, it's LeBron James. And if it's not LeBron James, it's Kobe Bryant. Larry Bird is a great player, don't get me wrong, but he's not in the top 10. Okay? But whatever. Okay? But that Donald Trump to a T. Like I said, the best question so far, I asked Dimitra, give me 3 things that he has done in 4 years. In 4 years. Like, I could tell you the 3 things that Toronto, Ford, the premier of Ontario, has done during COVID in the last 6 months. Not 4 years. You can't even name one thing. And people,
I guess, you know what? I guess it depends who you're asking too. Like, I feel like maybe I'm assuming, because, he was voted in, I'm assuming that there are some privileges that maybe the rich, white, wealthy people there have seen within the past 4 years. But, as you said, Joe, in the beginning of this episode of Lavish, if you were to make a rule as president, it would to be everyone equal. And that includes equal pay, equal attention, equal care, so it doesn't matter like that some privileges get dispersed. It should be dispersed to everyone. And that kind of reminds me, like, it just goes to say that this voting is not only for the future, it's for the present as well. I feel like there's so much corruption going on in the present. And, I'm hoping that the presidency that gets announced, like, can just start solving the problems right away instead of the future for my children's children. You know what I mean? Let's start now. Let's start today, right? So I don't know.
I want to say here 2 things, and I'll go to Dimitra and Sam here. Okay. Number one, why I started the H.E.R network. Does anybody know why I started the H.E.R network? Dimitra, you have any idea? Okay. And Sam, I think I told you, but I know you're in Washington, you're jet lagged and all that. Okay. So like, look, here's the real reason. Okay. The CWHL, Canadian Women Hockey League, had the best year last year, and they had the rug pulled out of them because they went bankrupt. My daughter's 13 years old. I don't know if she wants to play hockey or she's going to play hockey or whatever, but if she does, where's she going to play? Okay. So I started the H.E.R network, as I always say, for a legacy for my daughter, a legacy for Demetra Margos, for Samantha Walters, for everybody here, for Teresa Kirkland, who's doing an amazing job of producing. Never wants to be on air. She loves the fact off air, and that's the type of people that we have. That all of us, okay, I'm white, Demetra's white, and Sam, you're black or whatever, but we all come together for the good of people. Everybody has a say. Everybody has a chance to be anybody they want. It doesn't matter. You shouldn't be looking at over your shoulder and say, "Oh, well, he's not going to because I'm black or whatever." No, you should have. This is why we created this. Everybody should have a say. Everybody should have given the mic. And like I said before, yes, I'm a man. You two are ladies. What's the difference? Can anybody tell me here in TV land what's the difference? She, Demetra, destroys it on Lavish and destroys it on the Spike. By the way, and honestly, and here I'm going to share a little bit of details here. Demetra, the first time we talked, I said to you, "What do you do?" And you said, "I'm a former volleyball player," or whatever. What was my next question?
Would you like to host a show?
Simple. And you were taken back. It's like, what? what did this guy just tell me, like an actual volleyball show or whatever? Sam, same question to you. What and I always say this, in a perfect world, what would you like to do? That's my way of saying everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I like lavish lifestyle or whatever, entertainment or whatever. But I know you guys.
And you followed through with the actions immediately, already creating the logo, creating the name, and starting me up literally a couple days later. So yes,
but it's
definitely.
not about me. This is what I'm saying. When you have, if I'm the president and these people are put in a position of power, yes, but you succeed, you push them. Okay, some people like Teresa, not comfortable with the TV part, like to do behind the scenes. So you don't push them into a TV role. She, Demetra, great volleyball player, and I even told her, "You're a champion volleyball player. Announce it." How many times have I said it? She still doesn't do it. All right, she still doesn't do it. And look, she's blushing now. She still doesn't do it. But I urge everybody, seriously. I know I'm getting off topic here because I'm tired of talking about Orange. All right, so like, look, but I urge everybody to look. This is the first volleyball show on TV. Okay, look at who she brings on, and look at the pride she has and wants to come back to the show that she started because she adds something to it. And plus she wants to see my tie. And look, Sam has been really like co-hosting on Saturday, the special Halloween show, dressing up, everything. What as a owner of a company who wants the best for their staff and everybody, what more can I ask? Now you're the president of the United States. If I can do it, who's a nobody? I just admitted I'm a nobody, but I am a somebody. But anyways, with good hair? Eh? Look at this tie. All right. So like, look, who's a nobody can do it at the like snap of fingers. You like volleyball? Let's do a volleyball show. No question. There's no fighting. There's no. And she's taken back at it. What did the guy just give me a volleyball show? Like, am I sure I can do this? Or you were born to do that. That's what you put people in positions that are born to do it. Now, in a roundabout way, I'm gonna ask Demetra first. Okay, he was the president, or is the president, because I shouldn't say was, is the president for the last 4 years. Was he born to do this, or was he born to do show and tell? Say you're fired every 5 seconds, bankrupt 17 times, and still a millionaire.
Yeah, I definitely don't think he has the skill set to or is equipped for this role. And I think that his record the last 4 years has shown that.
All right, Sam, same question.
You know what? I remember on the TV they were showing a lot about both of their backgrounds. And I think Donald Trump came up from a background of I think it's cadets, and being the leader of that. So, in my head, I'm like, okay, this must make him, understand, the responsibilities of taking care of a team, right? So maybe he can take care of the country in a certain way, but the way he's been handling it, it's almost like he has a responsibility to a certain group of people, and that's what he's been fulfilling. And, to be the president is not to just take care of a certain group, it's to take care of the country itself. And in that country, there's a whole bunch of diversity there. So definitely, it's one of the things, even seeing like the numbers in different states and who's winning, like what states they've won and stuff like that, it makes me scared to go to like Iowa or Texas or wherever they got the vote for him. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wonder if those people have the same mentality and values, you know? So definitely one of those things. But as we were saying before, get out and vote. You know, I know it's confusing to a lot of Black people, especially seeing like Lil Wayne, Diddy, 50 Cent, and Ice Cube, you know, kind of teaming up and supporting Trump. But, you know, they're doing it because they're against the whole Biden, what is it, taxing the wealthy? And, you know, I know it's a selfish thing to do here. Right. Yeah, for sure. And I know it's a selfish thing to do here, but, you know, for them to take that side and, you know, promote it on their social medias and on their page. But I know like 50 Cent has talked about, you know, reaching out to Joe Biden's and Trump's campaign and saying like, Trump answered him first, right? So it's just be careful with all the media that's going on. Really educate yourself on who to vote for and why you should, you know, what aligns more with equality. You know, I feel like it's really hard when you're following artists because they all have their own selfish reasons to vote. And, you know, even Selena Gomez, this is her first time voting. Can you imagine? She's like, last year, she's like, I didn't think, well, not last year, but before, she's like, I didn't think it was important. I didn't think my voice mattered. But this year, like, I just have to make sure, because, you know, being neutral is choosing a side. It is choosing not to. I know a lot of people are like, well, I don't want to choose a side. I don't want to really get into the being neutral is choosing a side. It is choosing, you know, and it's the same thing with the whole protest and everything like that. You know, as you can see, you know, it's actions speak louder than words. And if you guys want action, take somebody who.
So we got a few minutes here. I'm gonna. First of all, I forgot to say this. It's Movember. Look, my mustache, my beard. Look, she hasn't seen. You guys haven't seen me. This is the most you've seen me. I'm always clean shaven. So support Movember. Remember in Canada to get your poppies, support poppies and all that, because we're promoting the States, but we are all from Canada. So get your poppies. Very, very important. People have sacrificed this. Okay. And we'll close it out with this. Dimitra, they say in life, what are two things guaranteed in life?
Death and taxes.
Okay. Death and taxes. Now, you know where I'm going here. Has the orange person paid taxes?
Not enough.
The answer is no, because I paid more for my TV in taxes than he has. All right. So that's the truth. Okay, Sam, same question.
I did not know that. I you know, so
you did not know two things are guaranteed in life?
No, I didn't even know that you paid more for your taxes than Donald Trump. You know, that's crazy to me. But you know,
what?
Sorry,
Dimitra?
In federal taxes. I paid more than that.
$750 he paid in taxes. Yeah, $750. You pay more for that, like I said, on like a TV. So as we close it out here, Dimitra, you're back tomorrow?
Yes, I'll be back tomorrow.
All right. So tomorrow we're going to talk about if America did the right thing. Okay. And I promise you, we will be talking, after talking about Orange, I want to talk about somebody peeing on some Grammys. All right. So like, look, I'm telling you, we're going to talk about Lavish, but Dimitra, tell everybody how they could get a hold of you.
Yeah, you guys can get a hold of me on Instagram or on Twitter. My handle is @DMaragos. That's DEEMARAGOS. I'd love to hear from you guys.
That is the best person for volleyball. She has her own volleyball show, The Spike, Monday, 7:30. Dimitra, $20. All right, Sam, go ahead. Tell me tell everybody how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, you guys can get a hold of me on Instagram at Samantha_media or on Twitter at Samantha_media with an extra A at the end.
All right. And tomorrow, as we start Lavish here at 6 p.m., I'm going to say one word. God bless America. Do the right thing, America. And don't vote for an orange. I like apple. An apple a day keeps the. Come on, Dimitra. An apple a day keeps the.
Doctor away.
Yeah, doctor away. And who doesn't like doctors? All right, orange. And what does an orange do? Lies. Fake news, lies. All right, Sam. I know you're in Washington. All right, you're going to give us a recap tomorrow of the music festival that you're attending in Washington, right?
Oh. For sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So for Dimitra, it's a pleasure having you on. We missed you. I know Sam always talks about you and all that. And you could see my hair's never out of place. Okay. So still, all right. But honestly, I'm very proud of both you guys. America, go out and vote. You still have time. Do the right thing. And let's hope and pray that America does the right thing for the world. Okay, because another 4 years of orange, I think this world's going to be exploded. Okay, it has already. It's going to be more and more problems. All right, I'd like to thank our producer Teresa also. Stay tuned for more great programming here on the Barn Burner TV network, Zingo TV channel 250, and of course the H.E.R network on Zingo TV channel 251. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you. Thanks,
Yeah.
Demetra.